I actually got this customer lifecycle model from Infusionsoft. Excellent diagram. It shows at the left hand side attracting traffic, attracting people into some form of lead capture mechanism, nurturing those prospects until we get the opportunity to actually sell to them, deliver, and then upsell and gain referrals. So from a dental business point of view, capturing leads and inquiries, nurturing until we get to the point where we can have a consultation, and then making treatment plans, looking after the patients, good quality patient care, making sure they understand what it is that we do for a living, upsell them and cross-sell them into other things that we do and provide at the practice, and then capture referrals from them. If we start off by looking at the beginning of the process here, okay, the sort of lead capture mechanisms or the lead promotional mechanisms are the same in the dental business as they are in other businesses. The communications might be slightly different, and what's being described obviously is different, but the mechanisms available are the same. We can promote the practice through things like yellow pages, press advertising, radio advertising, PR, door drops or direct mail, Google AdWords, greatly underutilized, works very, very well, search engine optimization. We can more proactively prospect for specific customers and patients using networking, attending networking meetings, running events or attending events, forming alliances with other local businesses, social media as an electronic way of networking. And we can work internally with newsletters and postcards and emails and referral systems and recall systems and such like. The objective of all this is to capture the details of somebody who is making an inquiry. They've been expressed an interest, but they're making an inquiry about the business and the services that we provide. So however they interact, whether it's through our website, by calling us up, by responding to text messaging, by visiting the practice, or by indeed sending us a letter, which occasionally happens and more frequently happens if it's a referring colleague, we capture the information in our marketing database, and then we can send a follow-up sequence. And the reason, of course, for sending and thinking about this as a follow-up sequence rather than a follow-up event is that the statistics going back years and years and years prove very convincingly that people respond to a sequence of interactions much more readily than a single interaction. So despite what anybody may think and say, sending 3 emails over a period of time is significantly more effective than just sending 1 email. Okay, the statistics prove it. It's not spam, it's not hassling, it's the way that the human psychology behaves. These people have expressed an interest and we're delivering on that interest. Obviously it makes a lot of sense if what we follow up with, the information we follow up with, relates to the nature of the inquiry. So whether it's routine care, rapid orthodontics, cosmetics, TMJ, whatever it is, children's dentistry, whatever it is, if we are responding specifically, we are much more likely to be successful. Okay, so there are a number of ways we can respond to that inquiry, and automating these makes a lot of sense. Sending out automated emails and driving people to specific pages on a website, making telephone calls, sending SMS messages. You can actually make visits. It's nothing to stop people making visits, very rarely done, but would be quite effective if there was a reason for doing that. And certainly sending up follow-up letters and sending brochures and information packs in the post. The objective of all this is to book a consultation. So then we look at the customer life cycle and look at the area of converting from that prospect, somebody that's indicated they're interested, to a sales situation where they've actually come into the to the business and we've sold them a treatment. So the first thing we would want to do if they've booked a consultation is, hey, let's send them a consultation letter, let's send them the medical history form, let's give them some information about the financial agreements, one that we expect them to abide to, like paying for their treatments, but two, explaining to them in some detail the financial agreements that are available to them, financial products that are available to them. We can request referrals at this point, and no doubt they will have some questions that are frequently asked and frequently answered. Our objective here really is to have a trained buyer, to have somebody that turns up for an appointment who actually understands something about the products and service they're coming in, and therefore the chances of us being successful in our consultation are much, much higher. Okay, so when they arrive, we would want to find out their objectives. We want to do a clinical examination, provide a treatment plan, make some sort of case presentation, particularly in larger cases, and also again explain the financial options and reach some financial agreements. So one or two things are going to happen at this point, aren't they? Either the patient is going to say, great, let's get on and take the treatment forward, or they're going to say, let me think about it. Very rarely do people actually say, no, I don't want this, even if that's what they think. They usually say, let me think about it. Okay, so the patient said yes, they want the treatment. We would want to send them a confirmation letter. We would want to reinforce the benefits, send them more information about the financial agreement they've just come to, ask them for referrals, answer their frequently asked questions that they might have. The objective of doing this, and the objective of automating this more detailed follow-up process at this point, is really we don't want the buyers, the patients, to change their mind. We don't want them to say, you know what, I've decided to put off treatment, I'd like to reschedule it, or even worse, they fail to attend. For those people who have said, let me think about it, if you recognise and if you research what it is they're thinking about, at this point is not really can I afford it. They've already made that decision that they can afford it earlier on in the process if you've done your job properly and explained to them the costs and the financial products available. It's not can I afford it so much as how do I convince my wife that this is an acceptable thing to do? What will the guys down the golf club or the ladies down the bridge club say? Is it worth it? Is this really what I want? And really they're probably just struggling with making the decision itself. They may want the treatment, but they're concerned and not quite ready to say yes. So the thing that must happen is that they actually get a decent quality case presentation. I'm not talking about a quote that comes out of the practice management system. I'm talking about something that's specific to them. It has some detail in it, it has some information that relates directly to them, and it's actually something that they can show their partner when they get home and explain why they're taking the decision to spend the money on their dental treatment. We'd want to reinforce the benefits. We want to include some social proof, i.e. testimonials and other case studies. Again, we want to talk about the financial agreements that are available to them, the financial options that are available to them, ask for referrals, and answer their frequently asked questions. If at that point they say, great, let's go ahead, then we get into the confirmation automation sequence that we described in the previous slide. If they say, well, hang on a minute here, I'm not quite ready, well, we don't need to go through this entire sales process again. We want to nurture these people so that when they're ready to accept treatment, they can just fall into the process and away we go. Okay, let's have a look at the back end of the process as described and supported by Infusionsoft. Okay, patient's been in, they exit, and we do this ideally for whether they've just been in for a routine checkup or whether they've been in for a large case. What we're looking to do is to in the UK certainly satisfy outcome 16 of the CQC requirements, and provide them with an exit survey. So we can fill in a form on exit, do this electronically, and automatically send them a link to a survey. The survey sort of asks them how do we do, takes care of all the compliance issues with CQC. Also asks them what do they really want, ask them for testimonials and gather testimonials, and also ask them for referrals. If they tell us what we want, we can give them specific information on that topic. If they give us a referral, we can invite those parties to join the practice. We can also send them follow-up emails about general products and service to increase the upsell and cross-sell. We capture the testimonials. If they click on any link in any of the emails that we send them, we can send them more detailed information on specific topics, and we can also send them information in our newsletter. And the newsletter is not really a sales vehicle, it's more of a relationship building vehicle. So that's the customer life cycle. That's how we can support everything in this sales process, in the marketing process, in the sales process. We can automate an awful lot of it, not 100% because human intervention is still required, but using Infusionsoft and the tools in Infusionsoft, we can automate the whole entire process. And I also have details of each of the pieces of collateral that can be easily deployed, automated, and built into the process. So this entire process can be up and running really very, very quickly within a practice.